Most men are walking through a desert, dying of thirst while standing right next to a well. That well is the woman sitting across from you, but you can't get to the water because you're too busy. Throwing stones at the surface, you ask her about her job, you ask her where she grew up, you ask her what her favorite movie is. These aren't questions, gentlemen, these are interviews. And a woman never felt desire for an HR manager. Today we are going to stop the performance, we are going to go into the basement of her psyche. I am going to give you the exact sequence of questions, the psychological keys that unlock the physical surrender you crave. But be warned, once you open these doors, there's no going back to small talk. Before I give you the questions, you must understand why she is closed. A woman's body is a fortress, not because she wants to keep you out, but because she is protecting something sacred, her vulnerability. The modern world has taught her she has to be a boss, that she has to be tough, that she has to be like a man. So when she meets you, her masculine armor is on. If you meet her with logic, you are just two men clashing shields. There is no spark there. There is only friction. To make her spread her legs, you must first make her, and you do that by speaking to the girl underneath the armor. Let's begin with the first layer, curiosity. Most guys ask, what do you do? Instead, look her in the eyes, let the silence hang for 3 seconds, and ask her this question, Wei Wenjing, when you were 8 years old, who did you think you were going to be? And when did that girl disappear? Do you feel that shift in the air? You have just pulled her out of 2026 and back into her heart. You are telling her, I am not interested in your resume. I am interested in your soul. When she answers, do not interrupt. Do not try to relate it back to yourself. Just listen. Listen to the tone of her voice. If she gets quiet, you are winning. Silence is the sound of a woman. Opening. Once the shield is down, you must create the tension. Tension is the electricity of desire. Without tension, you are just a best friend, and we know where that leads. You need to remind her that she is a woman and you are a man. Question rate 2E, do you consider yourself a person who follows the rules? Or do you have a side of you that likes to see how far you can push them? Watch her lips when you ask this. Watch if she looks away. If she blushes, the invitation has been sent. You are subverting her good girl persona. You are telling her, I see the fire in you, and I am not afraid of getting burned. Now, we are entering the basement. We have moved past the surface, past the childhood memories, and we are standing at the door of her shadow. Every woman, no matter how proper she seems, no matter how many pearls she wears or how soft her voice is, carries a shadow. This is the part of her that the world has told her to bury, the part that is primal, the part that is unrefined. Most men are terrified of this side of a woman. They want the mother, they want the assistant, and because they are afraid of her darkness, they can never truly own her light. If you want her to surrender her body, you must first give her permission to be a monster with you. You see, civilization is a mask, we all wear it, but a woman's mask is often heavier. She is judged for her desires, shamed for her fantasies, and told to be polite at all costs. When she is with a man who only speaks to her mask, she stays bored, she stays dry. But when a man leans in, reduces the space between their faces until she can feel the heat of his breath, and speaks to her shadow, her entire nervous system catches fire. Because finally, someone has seen the truth. To reach this level, you must ask about the power dynamic, not in a way that is creepy, but in a way that is observant. Question N3, in your daily life, you are so in control. You make the decisions, you lead. But I wonder, when the lights go out, do you ever crave the freedom of having that control taken away? Wait for it. Do not break the tension. She might laugh nervously, she might look at her drink, she might bite her lip. These are all signs of her social self struggling to keep the door shut. Stay grounded, stay in your masculine core. Your stillness is her safety. If she says, I don't know, you smile, a small knowing smile, and you say, I think you do. I think you're just waiting for a man who is strong enough to hold all of you, even the parts you think are too much. Once the door is cracked, you go deeper, you go into the realm of the untamed. Question Wei Foye, what is the one thing that you've imagined doing that makes you feel a little bit dangerous, the kind of thing you'd never tell your best friend? When you ask this, you are not just a man anymore. You are a sanctuary. You are telling her your secrets are safe with me. Your darkness is welcome here. Your desires do not scare me. And here is the secret, gentlemen. When a woman realizes she doesn't have to be good for you, she will give you everything because you are the only place in the world where she can be free. Watch her body. As you ask these questions, you will see the physical manifestation of her opening. Her breathing will move from her chest down into her belly. Her skin may flush. Her eyes will dilate. She is no longer thinking, she is feeling. This is the surrender loop, emotional depth leading to psychological safety, leading to sexual tension, leading to physical release. Most men try to jump straight to the end, but you are building the bridge, and once that bridge is built, she will be the one pulling you across it. Let's step back for a moment and look at the why. Why do these words, these specific vibrations of sound, have the power to change her physical state? A woman's brain is not like yours, gentlemen. For a man, arousal is often like a light switch, on, off, it is visual, it is direct. But for a woman, arousal is like a complex symphony. It requires an orchestrator, it requires the right chemical cocktail. When you ask the questions I've given you, you are triggering her dopamine. Dopamine is the neurotransmitter of anticipation. It's the what if, it's the thrill of the unknown. Most men kill dopamine by being predictable. If she knows exactly what you're going to say, if she knows exactly how the night will end, the dopamine drops. And when dopamine drops, her interest dies. But when you lean in and your questions are unpredictable, her brain begins to crave the next word. She becomes literally addicted to the conversation. But dopamine isn't enough. To get her to spread her legs, you have to navigate the dance between cortisol and oxytocin. Cortisol is stress, it's the fight or flight hormone. When a woman is on a date, her cortisol is usually high. She is scanning you. Is he a creep? Can I trust him? As long as her cortisol is high, her body is locked. Your job is to flip the switch to oxytocin, the bonding hormone, the hormone of surrender. And you do this through emotional vulnerability, not your vulnerability, but hers. Question Bay 5-day. When you're lying in bed at night and the world is finally quiet, what is the one thing you feel that you never have the words to describe? When she searches for that answer, she has to go deep into her limbic system. She has to trust you with a feeling. In that moment, her brain floods with oxytocin, her muscles relax, her guard drops. You have effectively drugged her with her own chemistry. Now, we must talk about the one thing that most men fail at: presence. You can have the best script in the world, but if your eyes are shaky, the words mean nothing. A woman's intuition is a lie detector. She is constantly checking, does his body believe what his mouth is saying? There is a power in the uncomfortable gaze. Most men look away when the tension gets too high. They break the connection. They apologize with their eyes. Never apologize for your desire. When you ask a deep question, what does it feel like when I look at you like this? Do not look away. Hold her eyes 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. In those 3 seconds, a silent conversation is happening. You are telling her, I am the mountain, I am the grounded masculine, I can handle your intensity, I can handle your fire. And in response, she begins to feel the feminine pull, the desire to be conquered. Notice my voice right now. It is lower. It is coming from the chest, not the throat. When you speak from your chest, the vibration actually hits her differently. It triggers a primal response in her ear canal that signals alpha, practice, slowing down. The faster you talk, the more needy you seem. The man who is in no rush is the man who is already a king, and every woman wants to be the queen to a king. Inside every woman, there are two sisters. There is the good girl, the one who follows the rules, the one who smiles for the camera, manages the office, and keeps her life organized. She is the one the world sees. She is the one you meet for coffee, but in the shadows lives the wild woman. She is the part of her that wants to be grabbed, the part that wants to lose her breath, the part that craves to be primal. Most men spend their entire lives dating the good girl, and they wonder why the fire dies out. It's because the good girl doesn't have the match. The wild woman is the fire. You cannot summon the wild woman by being nice. You cannot bargain with her. You have to provoke her. You have to show her that you aren't afraid of her teeth. When you use the questions I've taught you, you are bypassing the good girl's security system. You are speaking a language that only the wild woman understands. Question base 6a. I see the way you present yourself to the world, so composed, so perfect. But tell me, what is the thing you do only when you're completely alone and you think no one is ever going to find out? This is the inquiry of the secret. You are implying that she has a hidden depth. You are giving her the villain's permission when she admits to a small secret. She has just given you a piece of her wild self. And once you have a piece, you can have the whole we must talk about. The no, many men hear a no and they shatter. They take it as a rejection of their soul, or worse, they become aggressive. Both are the responses of a boy. A woman's no is often not a wall. It is a test of your lies. She is checking. If you are a man who can be swayed by a breeze, if she can push you over with a single word, then she cannot feel safe surrendering to you, because if she can break you, then you can't protect her. When she says, I don't think we should do this, or I'm not that kind of girl, do not argue, do not get defensive, do not apologize. Instead, you hold the frame, you look at her, you smile softly, and you say, I know you're not. That's exactly why I'm so drawn to you, because I know that when you do decide to let go, it's going to be monumental. Do you see what happened there? You didn't fight the no, you reframed it as her strength. You validated her boundary while simultaneously planting the seed of the surrender. You are telling her, I am not going to pressure you, but I am also not going to go away. I am the mountain and I will wait for the storm to pass. This is the art of persistent seduction. It is not about pestering, it is about presence. It is staying in the room when it gets hot. It is staying in the conversation when it gets deep. It is the ability to ask the same question in 3 different ways until she realizes that you aren't looking for an answer, you are looking for her. Question, why 7 day? Why are you so afraid of how much you want this? This is a sledgehammer question. Use it sparingly. It forces her to confront her own desire. It stops the game. It puts her in a position where she has to choose the mask or the truth. And if you have built the safety, she will choose the truth. Words are the invitation, but the body is the destination. You have spent the last hour building a fire in her mind. You have triggered her dopamine, her oxytocin, her shadow. Now, you must bridge the gap between the psychological and the physical. Most men fail here because they ask with their hands before they ask with their energy. They reach out with a hopeful touch, a testing touch, and she feels that uncertainty. She feels your need for validation. To move from the script to the skin, you must use the somatic bridge. Before you touch her, you must make her feel the touch in her imagination. You do this by describing the sensation before it happens. You use your voice to stroke her nervous system. Question, i.e., do you realize that every time you speak, I can see the pulse in your neck getting faster? What do you think would happen if I put my hand right there? Do not move. Just watch. You are looking at the spot you mentioned. You are creating a phantom touch. Her brain is already sending blood flow to that area. You are hacking her sensory cortex. When you finally do reach out, it won't be a surprise. It will be a relief. It will be the completion of a circuit. We must now discuss the ultimate surrender. In the modern world, we are told that everything is equal. Everything is flat, but in the bedroom, equality is the death of desire. Desire lives in the polarity, the North Pole and the South Pole, the king and the subject, the one who directs and the one who follows. This has nothing to do with rights or politics. This is about the ancient biological dance of the hunter and the prize, a woman who is a boss all day, who makes 1,000 decisions, who carries the weight of the world. She is exhausted. Her greatest fantasy is to find a man who is powerful enough to make her decisions for her. A man who can say, stop, you don't have to think anymore. You just have to feel. Question, why 9? How often do you get to be the one who doesn't have to be in charge? How often do you get to just let go and trust that the man in front of you knows exactly what to do with you? When you ask this, you are offering her the greatest gift a masculine man can give, the gift of surrender. You are telling her that your frame is stronger than her chaos. You are telling her that she can fall, and you will not only catch her, but you will command the fall. This is the moment where the legs spread, not because of a pickup line, but because of your car, but because she has found a space where she can finally be small, where she can be the feminine in its purest form, open, flowing. You have led her through the basement, through the shadow, and now you are standing at the altar of her intimacy. Stay in your power. Do not rush. The king never rushes, simply arrives. We have traveled a long road today from the surface of small talk into the deepest corridors of the feminine psyche. Most men will listen to these words and feel a spark of power, but they will go back to their lives and let that fire go out. They will let fear win. They will let the girl mask stay firmly in place, and they will wonder why they feel so alone in a room full of people. But you are different. Because you now understand that seduction isn't something you do to a woman, it is a world you create for her. It is the safety you provide so that she can finally breathe, so she can finally surrender. When she opens herself to you, let it be because she has found the one man who wasn't afraid to look into her darkness and call it beautiful. If you are ready to stop being the man who asks for permission and start being the man who leads, then it's time to change your frequency. If this conversation has shifted something inside of you, if you feel the weight of these truths, hit the subscribe button. This is where we deconstruct the lies of modern dating and return to the power of real polarity. Leave a comment below with the word presence if you've watched until the end. It tells me you're one of the few who actually has the focus to lead. Go out there and look her in the eyes. Don't look away. I'm Sadia Khan, and I'll see you in the depths.